So let's begin. What is circumcision? Circumcision is a procedure that removes the foreskin from the male genital area. If I will not mention the name precisely, okay? So today we are going to be talking about three major communities from Africa, specifically Kenya, my homeland, that are doing circumcision. There are other communities performing it, but today I'm going to specify on these three. Okay, let's learn the culture of Samburu, of Luya, and of Maasai. So the Samburu boys become Morans. This occurs every 15 years, whereby boys aged from preteens to the mid-20s are usually circumcised. In the days and weeks leading up to the circumcision, each mother must build a boma. What is a boma? A boma is a traditional hut made of sticks, leaves, and cow dung, and can take up to 4 to 5 days of building. Okay, the person doing the circumcision must be a trained professional. Okay, so before circumcision, the boys drink milk fetched by their mothers from gourds and rest dumped on their faces. After the boy is lifted up, circumcision is performed. So the boy is usually lifted up with 3 men, and then the circumcision procedure is performed. Due to guidelines about YouTube, I will not be able to show you how it's like physically done. So the first meal for the boys is usually drinking of blood, and then later people join in singing and dancing. Okay, so this one is usually a very special time for the Samburu people. If you're new here, my name is Puriville. I want to welcome you all to my palace. As I always say, this is the place to be, always bringing you the best. And today we are going back to Africa and precisely to Kenya. So let us continue with our second community. That is the Luya. So Luya, they are usually from the western side of Kenya, that is Western Kenya. Okay, the boys are usually circumcised between August and December. That usually happens because this is when the schools are usually closed. So the parents take it as a good opportunity for their boys to get circumcised and to become men. Okay. On that day, the boys begin their journey early in the morning. By the way, this is also similar to the Samburu. They start the journey very early in the morning. Most communities do that. So, for the Luya, the first place that the boys who are going to get circumcised, where they visit first, is usually their uncle. They first go to the uncle, and the uncle is supposed to give them a form of presents or gift. It can either be a calf, a chicken, and you might ask yourself, why do they have to go to the uncle so early in the morning? This is because the uncle is supposed to give authorization for them to be initiated. Okay, so that's why they have to wake up early in the morning. The first step is to the uncle's home, and then they are going to be given approval to go ahead with the circumcision. This is quite different from the Samburu. Okay, so later they are taken to the river, and to this river they usually smeared with mud, and then there are also some decorations which they get around their necks and all that. This the reason of why they are usually taken to the river, and at this time the water is usually very chilly and they're dipped inside. First of all, it is so good because it numbs the body. This is preparing the body for the circumcision. Okay, and then they're smeared with blood, and then they are given some decorations to show them and give them courage too. Okay, so these are some of the activities that happen when they are taken to the river. Okay, so, and then songs and dances accompanied by drums are usually performed after the circumcision ceremony. Okay, the dances are meant to encourage the boys who have undergone the circumcision, and also I almost forgot, during like, for example, the video that you're seeing right now It's for the Luya. It's not quite clear. They usually perform their songs and dances after and also before the initiation. Okay, so the way they usually sing is for them to encourage their boys, to give them courage to go through the knife. Okay, and the major dance that is usually performed is called Isikoti. I don't know if I've pronounced that well. Just in case I've missed a point or I've given somewhere misinformation, I'm prone to correction. And just in case you have anything to add, do you in the community that you're coming from, especially if you're from Africa, do you perform circumcision? And if you're willing, you can also share which community you're actually coming from, because I know we are a big community, mixed. Also from Europe, if you're from Europe or watching me from another continent, apart from Africa, what do you think about this? Okay, so the last community that I'm going to be talking about is the Maasai. First, the Maasais, they're usually grouped into pairs, the boys who are supposed to be circumcised. Okay, so the circumcision takes place between the ages of 16 to 17 years, but there are some factors which can lead to the boys to actually be circumcised earlier. Okay, one of them being that if, for example, they have a younger sister who is ready for marriage, it happens that the young boy will get circumcised earlier. Okay, and for example, if the father of the boy dies, sorry for that, and the boy is supposed to inherit, so he's supposed to be circumcised earlier so that he can be able to inherit his father's properties. Okay, so traditionally, boys were to carry a young calf, then they were considered mature. So that is how the Maasai used to do. A boy was told to carry a calf, and if he was able to carry, then he was considered ready for the initiation. Okay, but times have changed. I don't know if this is still being practiced. Okay, so elders meet and decide their boys are ready for circumcision. After they get the ones who are ready, they meet up and they say, now my boys are ready for circumcision. Okay, a house is built where the boys will go and play for 4 days. Okay, after cows are slaughtered, a chief speaker is usually selected from the boys and given a club. Okay, one of the groups. Okay, he's then given leadership for his peers. Okay, so he's the one to first drink the blood from the slaughtered cow. So this leader, this chief leader who is selected among the boys, is the one who actually drinks the cow's blood first from all the other boys. Okay, definitely because he's the leader. Okay, so boys are circumcised in their own homes. Once they have recovered, they build a house known as Enkango Ntaritik. Hey, almost sounds like, I don't know, Enkango Ntaritik. I don't know. I don't think that's the correct pronunciation, but I'll write it down. So this is where they are first shaved since the beginning of circumcision ceremony. So that's when they get their first shaving. I hope you've learned something new. I have learned a lot. And time by time, I'm getting to appreciate the different kinds of cultures that we have in Africa. Let me tell you, things have changed. There were other forms of circumcision that I don't feel like sharing right now, that were being practiced, but right now there are no more practices for that. They're being discouraged because of healthy reasons. Okay, but for the men, yeah, you get to appreciate some cultures as time goes by. So I hope you've learned something new. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have watched me until this point, I want to appreciate your support so much. So until my next episode regarding Africa, it's a bye-bye from me.